Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Star Trek, Picard, Star Trek, Discovery, Star Trek, Prodigy, and Star Trek. Lower Decks' endings left behind a slew of questions, and fans wonder if Star Trek will ever answer them. Between 2023 and 2024, all 4 Star Trek series ended on Paramount+, each with a form of cliffhanger. Today, Star Trek on Paramount+ is comprised of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, a prequel set in the 23rd century before Star Trek, the original series, and Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, which continues Star Trek's 32nd century after the end of Star Trek, Discovery. Although Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, and Star Trek, Starfleet Academy each have 2 seasons to come, it's a far cry from 2022, when 5 Star Trek series premiered a new episode every Thursday on Paramount+ for nearly the entire calendar year. The conclusions of 4 Star Trek shows included open questions that beg follow-ups, but it's unclear if answers to the following questions will ever come, as only Star Trek, Starfleet Academy is able to address what happened in each canceled Star Trek on Paramount+ series. Star Trek, Picard Season 2 left behind 3 significant unanswered questions that Star Trek, Picard Season 3's reunion of Star Trek, The Next Generation's cast ignored. The first involved another TNG icon, Wesley Crusher Will Wheaton, and his newest recruit to the Travelers. Wesley made a surprise cameo at the end of Star Trek, Picard Season 2 to introduce Kore, soon Isa Briones, to her destiny as a cosmic being who protects Star Trek's multiverse. Kore is the only living and successful clone daughter of geneticist Dr. Adam Soong Brent Spiner. What happened next to Kore Soong may never be known. Isa Briones has moved on from Star Trek to star in the Emmy Award-winning HBO Max series, The Pit. Star Trek, Starfleet Academy is likely the Star Trek series that can address the Travelers, barring the surprise appearance in Star Trek, Strange New Worlds' final 2 seasons, which is still possible since the Travelers can pop up anywhere in linear time. Another question tied to Kore Soong is the file in Adam Soong's office titled Project Con. Although Star Trek, Strange New Worlds Season 2 likely provided an answer of sorts by revealing Con Desmond Sivan was a child in the early 21st century, at least in a now-deleted alternate reality. Star Trek, Picard Season 2's ending revealed the twist from the first scene in Season 2 when the Borg Queen beamed aboard and seemingly attacked the USS Stargazer. Instead, the cybernetic intruder revealed herself to be a hybrid of the Borg Queen Annie Wershing and Dr. Agnes Jurati Allison Pill. The Jurati Borg Queen came from Star Trek, Picard Season 2's deleted alternate Confederation of Earth timeline, and she built a benevolent Borg collective. Admiral Jean-Luc Picard Patrick Stewart granted Jurati's Borg provisional membership in the United Federation of Planets. Jurati's Borg collective then set themselves as the Watcher on the Wall to protect the Federation from an unknown villain threatening to arrive from a spatial anomaly. And that was it for Jurati and her Borg Queen. Star Trek, Picard Season 3 ignored the Agnes Jurati Borg collective cliffhanger, and fans never learned who or what the mysterious enemy is. Star Trek, Picard simply moved on, and Jurati's Borg wasn't called upon to help save the Federation from the original Borg Queen's Alice Krige return. Star Trek, Picard Season 3's ending created a desire for a continuation dubbed Star Trek Legacy that fans will want over 2 years later. This is because of 2 setups in Picard's ending: the launch of the USS Enterprise G and the surprise return of Q John D. Lancey. Star Trek, Picard Season 2 was believed to be the final appearance of Q, the omnipotent being aged in Picard Season 2 and revealed to Admiral Picard that he was dying. At the end of Star Trek, Picard Season 2, Q used the last of his cosmic energy to return Jean-Luc and his motley crew to Star Trek's restored prime timeline. Yet their Q suddenly was in Ensign Jack Crusher's Ed Spellier's quarters on the new Starship Enterprise, promising Admiral Picard's son that he has a cosmic destiny all his own. How Q is alive, and what Q wants with Jack Crusher are questions only Star Trek, Picard Season 3 showrunner Terry Matalas knows the answers to. Star Trek. Picard Season 3's ending promoted 7 of 9 Jerry Ryan to the new captain of the Enterprise, placing Star Trek's greatest Borg heroine in command of the new USS Enterprise G. Captain 7's first officer, Commander Raffi Musiker Michelle Hurd, and the captain's special counselor, Ensign Jack Crusher, teased her about the need for a personal and distinctive warp command. Star Trek captains say something cool and special to jump their starships to warp, like Captain Jean-Luc Picard's Engage, Captain Michael Burnham's Sonequa Martin Green Let's Fly, and Captain Christopher Pike's Anson Mount Hit It. Captain 7 of 9 had a warp command in mind and was about to say it, but Star Trek fans never heard what it is. Likely, the only way we'll ever find out is if Star Trek Legacy actually happens, as Captain 7's warp catchphrase is being held under wraps until it is. Before Star Trek Discovery's series finale, Life Itself, time jumped into its 12-minute epilogue. The original plan was to end Star Trek Discovery Season 5 with Ambassador Saru's Doug Jones' wedding to President Trina Tara Rosling. On the beach after Saru's nuptials, Captain Michael Burnham reunited with her love, Cleveland Booker David Ajala, before the USS Discovery contacted the captain about their next mission. Discovery then jumped away on that mission. Star Trek Discovery was planning for Season 6 and 7 before Paramount Plus' surprise cancellation in 2023. Although Star Trek Discovery's producers hadn't begun writing Season 6, the USS Discovery is still out there saving the Federation in the late 32nd century. Unlike other Star Trek series' unanswered questions, Star Trek Starfleet Academy, as a direct spin-off of Star Trek Discovery, can provide updates on the whereabouts of Captain Burnham and the USS Discovery. Maeve Harlow and Lack Elias Tufexis distinguished themselves as two of Star Trek Discovery's best villains in Season 5. Tragically, Lack died halfway through the season, and Maul's bid to take command of the Breen Imperium and use the progenitors' ancient technology to resurrect Lack failed. Maul was in Federation custody at the end of Star Trek Discovery Season 5, but she had two consolations. Cleveland Booker formed a connection with her since Maul is the daughter of Book's former mentor and namesake. More fascinating, however, was Dr. Kovach David Cronenberg taking an interest in Maul and potentially recruiting the former courier into Starfleet's Department of Temporal Investigations. Eve Harlow joined the cast of CBS hit series Watson, but Star Trek Starfleet Academy could potentially address the whereabouts of Maul in the late 32nd century, and if Maul did go to work for Dr. Kovach. Star Trek Prodigy Season 2 sending tied into Star Trek Picard's Mars attack, which took place on First Contact Day, April 5, 2385. Rogue synthetics attacked Utopia Planitia fleet yards on Mars and killed 92,000 souls as the Red Planet was set on fire. Admiral Catherine Janeway Kate Mulgrew devised a response to the Federation pulling within its borders and stopping exploration in the wake of the Mars attack. Janeway sent the former crew of the USS Protostar back to space aboard the brand new USS Prodigy. Led by Captain Gwendolyn Ella Purnell, the USS Prodigy's mission is to explore and bring the light of the Federation to the dark corners of the galaxy. It was an intriguing and hopeful setup for Star Trek Prodigy Season 3 that didn't come to be. Unfortunately, Netflix, the current soon-to-expire streaming home of Star Trek Prodigy, opted not to order Season 3. This effectively canceled Star Trek Prodigy. Only Star Trek Starfleet Academy has the means now to possibly address what happened to the USS Prodigy and her young crew. Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5 ambitiously opened up the multiverse thanks to the alternate reality hopping voyages of Captain William Boimler Jack Quaid and the multiversal crew of the starship Anaximander. After the USS Cerritos was able to create a stable wormhole to the multiverse, Star Trek Lower Decks ended with Starbase 80 stationed to guard the wormhole under the command of Captain Carol Freeman Don Lewis. Meanwhile, Captain Boimler's Anaximander was charged with the mission to continue exploring Star Trek's infinite alternate realities. Tragically, Star Trek Lower Decks was canceled before this story could be pursued to its fruition. Unless Star Trek Lower Decks returns somehow, fingers crossed, what happened to Starbase 80 the USS Anaximander, and the multiverse will remain open questions only Star Trek, Starfleet Academy could reference. Star Trek fans would also love to know what happens next to the USS Cerritos under the command of Captain Jack Ransom Jerry O'Connell and co-first officers Lieutenant Bradward Boimler Jack Quaid and Lieutenant Beckett Mariner Tawny Newsome. Star Trek, Picard, Star Trek, Discovery, Star Trek, Prodigy, and Star Trek Lower Decks' combined 15 seasons introduced grand and ambitious storytelling, but it's frustrating how many huge, burning questions have been left unanswered. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.